recording. So then you just go to that. Okay, I'm going to hand you over to Amanda. Speak to you soon. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our product knowledge webinar. We're all here, as Claire's already said. Zoe, myself, and Claire are all sitting in her lounge, so it's never done one like this before, so it's quite funny. But yeah, it's a real pleasure to be able to do this, and I hope we've got some people on in the UK as well. So welcome. I know it's very early for you, 7 o'clock. So we'll hopefully get this done and dusted in an hour so that you can head off and do school runs and things. So we're going to focus on 3 products each, so 9 products for you this morning. What we've actually done is we've picked out certainly 3 of the drinking gels to get started with. The reason being that if you work this business correctly, your business can be all about the drinking gel. When we were over in Greece for the Eagle Managers Retreat, we actually met up with the Indian team, and they had their top Indian leader, who's now a member of the global leadership team, and they were saying how they don't have any of the weight management products. There's so many products that they don't have, so we were asking them how did they actually manage to build such successful businesses, and they basically said we've built it around the drinking gel and purely around the drinking gel. So if you know your facts about aloe vera, if you know your facts about the gel, this can be obviously the stable product in your business. So we're going to, as I've already said, we're going to speak about 3 of the gels this morning. But I'm also going to just briefly go over the actual aloe vera plant itself, because you can say many things about aloe vera that are compliant that you cannot say about Forever Living products. So if you know your facts about aloe vera, you can actually promote aloe in a much more positive way. As we know, there are various names for the aloe vera plant. It can be called the medicine plant, the miracle plant, the healing plant, the burn plant, sometimes even known as the wand of heaven. It's been used in long over many centuries in history. We know that Cleopatra had it as part of her beauty regime. Gandhi was renowned for talking about the benefits of aloe vera. And even in Roman times, the Romans used to cover their bodies with aloe before they went into battle. In case they got wounded, they would know that the wounds would start to heal before they'd even finished. So, you know, it's got a long-standing history of all the properties and the benefits of it as a plant. What you may not know, and I think it's always worth telling people, is a lot of people think that the aloe vera plant is a member of the cactus family, and it's actually not. It's a member of the lily family. It lives for many years, but it actually doesn't mature until 4 years old. And actually, Forever harvest their plants, or the outer leaves of those plants, when they're 2 years old. We know that there are 75 different ingredients in the aloe vera plant, and they've not all actually been identified yet, but we can talk about obviously the ones that have been. And there are 200 nutritional compounds in there, so it's quite an amazing plant just to you know, to know about. There are over 200 species of aloe vera plant, but actually only 4 or 5 of them have got medicinal properties. So I always say to my customers, if you're already using aloe, products, Claire's just put me off. She's taking pictures. I can't believe she's doing that. If you're already using aloe vera products, make sure that you have the right species of aloe, and that is the aloe vera barbadensis Miller variety, and that's the only one. It's the only classified species that you can ingest, and that's the only plant that Forever Living actually produce and have on their farm, which is quite amazing in itself. So out of those 200 nutritional compounds, we know that there are 20 minerals that include iron, copper, zinc, magnesium, also chromium and potassium. We know that it contains 19 of the 20 essential amino acids and 7 out of those 8 essential amino acids. It's got 18 vitamins, including A, C, and E, and it's also got traces of vitamin B12, and that's quite rare for any plant to actually have vitamin B in them at all. It's also got an absolutely amazing ingredient called lignin, and this is the I talk a lot about lignin to my customers because this is the it's a cellulose-based what would I call it, compound that draws the aloe and any other ingredients in the product right down 7 layers deep into the skin, and that takes all those ingredients right down to the dermal layer, and that's where all the cells are generated and the regrowth of the cells takes place. So we've got lignin in there, we've got saponins, and that's always easy to talk about because saponin is Latin for soap, and it's the saponin that has that cleansing effect on the body. It also contains anthocyanins, and that's like a type of mild laxative. It's a natural laxative, a bit like rhubarb, so that also helps with the cleansing effect, obviously. It contains digestive and immunity enzymes, natural sugars in there, including polysaccharides, and that's going to help the immune system. And then it also contains salicylic acid, and that's your painkilling and anti-inflammatory effect of aloe as well. So you can actually say any of these things about aloe vera because that's medically proven. So when we talk about our drinking gel, we can mention that it contains aloe. Obviously, it's from the aloe vera plant, which contains all these things. So it's going to coat and it's going to clean your digestive tract. You also need to be promoting what's special about our aloe, what makes it different. And you see this on all the business presentations. You should sort of know your facts about what makes our aloe a bit different. Obviously, as I've already said, we only grow the aloe vera barbadensis Miller variety of aloe. We have plantations both in Scottsdale, Arizona and the Dominican Republic. We own the land, we own the air above and the land to either side. So we know that there are no nasties involved in growing our aloe. What else do I need to say about that? Yeah, so the other thing is obviously that we hand fill it, and we only use that inner leaf gel. We are responsible for everything from growing the plant right through to packaging and producing and bottling the products. We have that patented stabilization process. We use a fruit acid to stabilize the aloe. It's ascorbic acid, and that's basically just vitamin C. Obviously, if you cut an aloe plant, the oxidization takes place really, really quickly. So this patented stabilization process avoids that. Yeah, so that's it's like I say, if you're going to promote the drinking gels, you need to be telling people these things as well. The other thing it's useful to know when people say to you, oh, but I can buy an aloe vera juice in the supermarket much cheaper, you need to know the difference between a juice and a gel. And obviously, it's all down to the percentage of gel that's in there. And to be called a gel, it must contain at least 80% aloe vera. And obviously the juices have a lot less percentage than that and are diluted with water. So again, that might help you, you know, explain the difference and why ours is a little bit more expensive than those supermarket brands. So onto the yellow drinking gel, the natural drinking gel. This is the one that I would recommend to most people. It's the one that I send people to first, unless there's a specific reason for giving them one of the other drinking gels. But if they don't have a specific reason, this is the one that I would be recommending. And as you can see there, it's got 98% stabilized aloe vera. And this is the one that's going to really, really help people with their digestive system. So it's going to clean that digestive tract, and it's going to help your body to absorb up to 3 times more of the supplements and food that you're taking on board. It does also have benefits to dental health and hygiene. It has that soothing and healing effect, as we know. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, so it's going to help with irritated intestines as well. We've talked about those natural sugars that help support the immune system and immune function, but it's also great for skin because it helps that collagen and elastin repair as well. Because it helps clean your digestive tract. People always say if you've got a healthy gut, you're going to feel much healthier, but it also means it's going to help you maintain that healthy weight and energy levels because it's going to raise your metabolism a little bit. And it's also great for your hair. People say that obviously when you start to take aloe, you get that aloe glow in your skin and your hair starts to shine and look much, much better. So the berry nectar then. Well, the berry nectar has got the same amount of stabilised aloe vera in it, so it's got all the goodness of aloe that we've talked about, but it's also got those added benefits of cranberry juice and apple juice. The cranberries are a natural cleanser for the urinary tract, and they've also got a high vitamin C content. They're also a natural source of healthy bacteria, so they've got many, many benefits, as most of us know already. You've also got apple juice in there, and the apple juice contains flavonoids, and those flavonoids are a powerful antioxidant which have also got anti-inflammatory and immune system benefits. It also contains added fructose, and that gives a natural sweetness which makes it a bit more bearable for the people that struggle with the natural gel, and it also makes it great for kids as well. It also contains phytonutrients, and these are just basically plant-based antioxidants, so it is a great antioxidant, has antioxidant properties as well. It's a good natural source of vitamin C, you mustn't forget that. So generally this one we would recommend for anybody who suffers from recurrent UTIs, but it's also really, really good specifically for skin, for nails, and for hair. So I'm going to pass on to Zoe now, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the Forever Freedom.
Hi everyone, good morning. Right, we're going to go on to the Forever Freedom, which is the one that we would recommend for proper joint function and mobility. It contains 88% of that natural yellow bottle aloe vera. Now, the reason that we're going to be looking at this one is because there are many debilitating illnesses, but primarily arthritis, the inflammation of our joints, tendons, and their surrounding structures is a huge problem, and millions of sufferers. Causes joint pain, stiffness, lack of mobility, and eventually deformity. We have rheumatoid arthritis, which is a disorder of the immune system. And then we have osteoarthritis, which is the so-called wear and tear arthritis of middle and old age, the one that gets us all. Osteo is becoming far more common and affecting up to 1 in 6 of the population in Europe and USA. So you begin to see the importance of a joint supplement. Seriously affects a lot of people's quality of life, and all of us are at risk depending on genetic predisposition. So the main at-risk groups you're looking at: heavy manual workers, sportsmen and women, the overweight and the obese, even women who wear high heels a lot. So over a period of time, what happens is the cartilage covering the bone, acting as a natural shock absorber, gets worn away until eventually bone rubs against bone. And at the same time, the lubricating fluid in that joint becomes thinner and a little bit more like a watery consistency. The surrounding tissue that is the joint capsule then swells and thickens as a result of the inflammation, and you can even get little spikes of the bone growing into the joint cavity, greatly reducing its function and then ultimately, of course, its mobility. Lots of treatments offered: physio, osteopathy, chiropractic, drugs, either simple painkillers or anti-inflammatory drugs. They can produce very unwanted side effects like allergic reactions, and they commonly cause indigestion, stomach aches, ulcers. So yeah, you can get unexpected interaction from those drugs. So that's why we're looking at this kind of supplement being so important. The aloe vera alone has the anti-inflammatory qualities that Amanda just explained. Forever Freedom reduces people's symptoms, and it's with the aloe vera and 4 ingredients. So we're looking at glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, and vitamin C that are added to the aloe vera in the Forever Freedom. These substances help the body to repair the damaged cartilage, i.e. form new cartilage, and increase the viscosity or the thickness of the fluid in the joint. Like an engine, the joint needs the right quality oil to make it perform properly and to stop those metal parts wearing against each other, which is exactly what this does. Freedom gives the body the natural ingredients it needs to form that new cartilage. Glucosamine is an amino acid, as is glucosamine sulfate, manufactured from the shells of shellfish. So you need to be very aware of that. Make sure that your customers do not have shellfish allergies. Chondroitin sulfate is the building block for cartilage, so that new cartilage formation, and as is bovine derived. So that's another thing you need to be aware of. MSM, so this helps form the connective tissue and it helps repair the joints and the tendons and the ligaments. It's also necessary for the collagen production. So with the added vitamin C, that can normalize our collagen formation and radically improve skin health, for example. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory and it helps increase the body's ability to eliminate waste products at the cellular level, so like that lactic acid buildup when we exercise. So it's helping to speed up recovery. Freedom provides the recommended daily amounts. So of glucosamine sulfate, you're getting 1,500 milligrams, chondroitin sulfate, 1,200 milligrams, MSM, 750 milligrams, and vitamin C, 250 milligrams. That's all in your 4-ounce serving, which is 60 mils, isn't it? Which you're taking as a shot in the morning. Now, what I did want to add in here is, do remember, this is not just for humans, this is for your animals as well. Now, obviously, Amanda and I are overrun with animals. We've got our horses, we've got our dogs, we've got our cats, but my biggest group and my largest seller is my Freedom and my horse clients. That is my stable business. That is where I make majority of my retail. She's just come in for another photo. So remember, you can give the Freedom gel to the animals as well, all the gels. What you need to do, if you haven't got it already, is go and get the vet book and have a look at the treatment amounts. So for example, with horses, for a long-term dosage, we will be giving them 60 mils in their first feed of the day. If we are treating a condition, then we would up that to 120 mils. If it's a really severe condition, if they're severely lame, then I'd actually up it to 250 mils a day and bring it back down again. So add slowly, either administer direct into the mouth or put it into their feed or add it to their drinking water, like you can see in that photo of the dogs. Please remember though, it's not recommended for young animals until they've started to develop a gut flora. Low level, really initially, slowly increasing it over 10 days. So for example, if you've got a puppy, start really, really low after they've gone past about 12 weeks of age, about 2 mils, and increase it up to 15 mils. So that's just letting you know, don't forget your animal clients. Moving on to arginine, RG+, our wonderful, wonderful RG+. First of all, what is L-arginine? It's one of the 20 amino acids. It's found in many foods like dairy products, meat, fish, nuts, soybeans. Arginine is converted in our body to make nitric oxide, which is a vital neurotransmitter and has functions throughout the brain and the body. Arginine is needed for the execution of so many different physiological processes, and this can include hormone secretion, the increase in growth hormone output, the removal of toxic waste products. It's sometimes used for treating conditions such as chest cramping high blood pressure, heart disease, sexual dysfunction. Studies have found that arginine can improve the function of blood vessels. It can enhance coronary blood flow, it can lower blood pressure, it can reduce angina, it can alleviate other symptoms in people with heart disease and vascular disease. So aside from all these benefits, what else does it offer? Well, basically that depends on who you are. Arginine also triggers your body to make protein. Because of that, it's been studied for healing wounds, bodybuilding, enhancing the sperm production, and preventing tissue wasting in people with critical illnesses. Sometimes health professionals advise taking it to help certain conditions like metabolic alkalosis, the chemo side effects, infertility. The demand for arginine increases during times of injury and repair. So how does it help, for example, people like athletes? Well, for starters, it can support the production of testosterone and growth hormone. It improves the delivery of oxygen to all organs, including your muscles. Now, obviously, we need adequate hydration and electrolyte balance, which is always important, but it is of particular importance to athletes who need to maximize the benefits from their nutrition supplements and exercise. It's needed for the synthesis of creatine, an amino acid often used to boost muscle mass. So arginine is important for the immune system, allowing athletes to train harder and avoid immune suppression, often linked to overtraining. So that's why it's really important to athletes. But how does it actually impact your blood? Well, it has the ability to promote lipid oxidation, lower blood pressure, and decrease artery plaque. That's one reason why it's good for smokers, FYI. It allows blood to circulate properly, feeding your brain oxygen. Blood flow is worsened by stress, poor circulation, high blood pressure, etc. And all these issues can occur or be worsened with insufficient arginine. So why have arginine supplements become so popular? It's partly down to its role in making this nitric oxide. This in turn allows your body to scavenge free radicals, signal muscle cells, release growth hormones, remove bad cholesterol, and enhance fat metabolism. It also helps, what else was I going to say, regulate salt levels in your body. Its nitrogen retaining abilities are renowned in the world of bodybuilding, so it helps the muscle growth due to the resulting support of the blood flow and ability to participate in that protein synthesis. Excuse me. Arginine is also needed to make urea, the byproduct created when your body breaks down all those proteins, and it helps your body regulate its waste and any chemical imbalance. So it's crucial, like I said before, for those athletes. Other benefits of L-arginine, beyond the cardiovascular, muscular, and immune system benefits, it's very important for brain health too. And I also, on a sideline, find it really reduces my migraine pain if I suffer. It's a bit like taking an ibuprofen. So it's very likely in the average diet today that we don't consume enough arginine. Our diets are not varied enough and our bodies don't get enough of the vital substance. Metabolic diseases are common, unfortunately, resulting in us not being able to completely absorb vital substances during digestion, leading to a deficiency. So hence why we need to supplement this. A good dose is recommended from a minimum of 2 grams, and our sachets provide 5 grams each. So arginine can boost your workout like nothing else, whilst also aiding and speeding the recovery. That's a very quick overview. I hope I didn't rush that. I'm aware of time. Some additional info that we took from Steve Hatchett training was with under 18s. Now, it says be careful for anybody under the age of 18 because arginine occurs, like I said already, naturally in our bodies. But typically we're not taking on enough because we're not eating the right foods to release the nitric oxide. Definitely nobody under 12 is to take RG as recommended by head office. Over 12 but under 18, we recommend to speak to a physician, and half or quarter recommended amount according to body weight, but always go with a GP recommendation. Final one for me is our Forever Light Ultra with aminotin. Now, this one, based on 2 servings a day, is that right? 34 grams of protein in 2. I thought it was 24.
It's 24 in the UK.
Yeah, I thought so. Sorry, the slide is incomplete. It's 24 grams of complete protein in your UK shakes, and I think we are 17 grams of complete protein here. Okay. So yeah, just check on your whichever country you're listening in from globally. It's written on the actual pack itself. But it has 100% of the recommended daily intake of the following vitamins in 2 servings a day, vitamins and minerals. So they include A, C, D, E, vitamins B6 and B12. It has 18 of the important amino acids, including essential and non-essential. 2 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugar, and if you added it with water, you're about 90 calories per shake, and if you add skimmed milk, you're at about 216 calories per shake. So why do we need protein? I'll go into the protein that we use shortly, but we need protein for muscle building. We need it for our bones, our blood, our hair, our nails, and the rebuilding of cells. So the body, it cannot store or make protein. So we need to be ingesting it, and we need to be ingesting a reliable source of it. So why do we use soy protein? We're 100% plant-based soy protein. And it's effective really because of its effective ability to promote gains in lean muscle mass. If you just want to take a screenshot of this slide, it will probably be a lot of the shake slides actually have got a lot of writing on them. I'm just going to talk away from that for a moment. It's the soy protein. There are lots of benefits to having that. It is eco-friendly. It's a sustainable protein. And what I mean from that is it will be around for a long term. So when asking consumers if they actively seek environmentally friendly products, you will find that probably nearly 60% of people say absolutely yes, and you can say that this is a sustainable protein. There are high amounts of amino acids, arginine and glutamine in here. Arginine, obviously well known as a stimulant of anabolic hormones that stimulate muscle formation, while glutamine is considered essential during metabolic stress. So the one major benefit to this is it supports new muscle as well as old, being that it's soy protein, not whey. It's lower in fat, lower in saturated fat, and lower in cholesterol. Now, lots of people will ask you this. I have so many, especially personal trainers, anybody that is using protein for, exercise and to build muscle. So the benefits to soy, we've obviously got the fact that it fills us up, same as whey. We've got it, we can use it in weight management, same as whey. As you can take a screenshot of this slide, excellent source of amino acids, it improves energy and stamina, helps with muscle support, it fits the consumer's demand for protein. But the added extras is what I'm going to go into now. So we've got the eco-friendly, why soy, environmentally sustainable, as I said, economically efficient, nutritionally complete protein, much healthier alternative to some other sources of protein. When we're talking about the eco-friendly side of it, for every acre of farmland, the usable protein produced, we can produce 356 pounds of soy, compared to, on per acre, 20 pounds of beef usable protein or 40 pounds of egg usable protein. So that's another reason for it being eco-friendly and environmentally sustainable. Another thing you can say when people are really interested in that is in its production, you talk about the water efficiency. So to produce a ton of soy protein, we only use 9,500 litres of water. To produce the same ton of a protein of beef that's usable, you're going to use 78,500 litres of water. So we use much less water in the production, we use much less land, etc. Soy protein, high quality plant-based protein, equivalent in protein quality to dairy and milk. As I said, low in fat and saturated fat, zero cholesterol, no lactose, ideal for vegetarian alternatives. In 2015, there were over 20 million deaths globally down to cardiovascular disease. The FDA have found that 25 grams of soy protein a day as part of a low saturated fat, and low cholesterol diet will reduce the risk of heart disease. So 2 servings of Forever Light Ultra provides that 24 grams of complete protein. So on a quick summary of soy benefits, soy produces more protein per acre than any source of protein, cost-efficient form of protein, has key environmental benefits to other sources of protein, high-quality protein that has unique heart health benefits, and the aminotin. So the challenge is the absorption. Proteins are not easily absorbed as we age, and some people produce more of the enzymes that break down those proteins than others. It's really difficult to break down the proteins and break down the amino acids. So we use the most bioavailable protein in the form of soy, but we only have a 1.5 to 2 hour window in that upper GI tract that we can utilize and break down those proteins and get the maximum absorption through the gut. So we've added this aminotin to the formula, and this helps break down the big molecule protein, breaking down those amino acids so that we break them down in the upper GI tract before they pass through further and can no longer be absorbed. Aminotin is basically a patented designer enzyme system to help break down those amino acids and do it within that 2 hour window in the upper GI tract so we get maximum absorption. So I'm going to pass back to Amanda now. Thank you very much. And she's going to go over the wonderful bee pollen. See you later.
Right, so bee pollen. Well, when I was actually reading up about bee pollen, I wondered why I hadn't been taking it as much as I should have been. It's an absolutely amazing supplement, and I think generally it's a holistic remedy that's been used throughout the world for centuries, but the vast number of ways that bee pollen can be used is often overlooked, and I think as a supplement perhaps a lot of people do forget about it. So a little bit of information just about the bee pollen itself. It's made obviously by bees, but it's actually the food of the young bee, and it contains most of the nutrients that are actually required by humans. So bee-gathered pollens are really, really rich in proteins, and they provide about 40% the actual pollen contains about 40% protein. It's known as a complete food. Bee pollen is richer in proteins than any animal source of the same size, so it contains more amino acids than beef, eggs or cheese of equal weight, and that's quite incredible. 1 teaspoon dose of pollen, and this is a little fun fact for you, takes one bee working on its own 8 hours a day for a month to gather. So it's a lot of hard work for those bees, but it's a really, really rich and complete food that we need. Okay, it's one of the most recommended energy foods sort of out there, and again it's one of those things that I think is overlooked when we talk about customers or clients who may be lacking in energy. This is something we should be directing them towards. So 10 reasons really why you should be using bee pollen. Well, as we've already said, it's a fantastic energy enhancer. It's got B complex vitamins, and they boost the metabolism and helps your metabolism to burn fat much more quickly. It used to be, for those of you who are new, we used to use bee pollen in the C9 instead of therm. So the properties of bee pollen are renowned for boosting metabolism, and I think in Australia it's still used. No, is it not Australia?
It's Arctic Sea and Ally Blossom too.
Oh, there's somewhere else where it's still used. Yeah. It's not the therm yet either. So number 1, as an energy enhancer, obviously, Number 2, it's a fantastic skin soother. So it can often be used in topical products to treat inflammatory conditions, things like psoriasis, things like eczema. The amino acids and the vitamins protect the skin, and they really help that with the regeneration of cells. So it's really, really good to be working on your skin from inside out. It's great for your respiratory system. It's got a high level of antioxidants, and they have an anti-inflammatory effect on the respiratory tract. So it helps reduce inflammation on the tissue of the lungs as well, preventing things like asthma. So anybody who suffers from asthma, it can be recommended to start to take bee pollen. That can have a great effect. On the same kind of vein, it's really, really fantastic for treating allergies. Pollen actually reduces the presence of histamine, and that can really help alleviate many, many allergies. So people who are allergic to dust or animals as well, and also particularly when the pollen is high, it's a natural soother, so it's great for hay fever sufferers. So anybody who's it's probably a good time actually to start using, because you need to start using the bee pollen about 3 months before the onset of hay fever season. It's really great for the digestive system as well. Bee pollen contains enzymes that can aid in digestion, and that's something that we need to remember, because that can be used then obviously alongside the aloe drinking gel. It's a fantastic immune system booster. It's got antibiotic type properties, so that can help protect the body from contracting viruses. It's also rich in antioxidants, and that protects the cells from damaging oxidization of those free radicals out there. It can also be helped to treat addictions, because it can inhibit cravings if it's taken on a regular basis. It can help suppress those impulses. So it's great for people perhaps who are trying to give up smoking, and we often recommend to use bee pollen for people who are doing the C9 as well, to help them crush those cravings. Number 8, it supports the cardiovascular system. So bee pollen contains large amounts of rutin, and that helps strengthen the blood vessels. It assists with any circulatory problems, corrects cholesterol levels. It's also, and I didn't know this before I did some reading, it's also got some quite potent anti-clotting powers. So potentially it could help people who have a history of heart attacks in the family or strokes. Number 9, prostrate aid. It reduces inflammation to stop the urge to urinate. So for a lot of gentlemen out there, it might be something you could recommend to help them. And number 10, infertility problems. Because bee pollen stimulates and restores ovarian function, it can be used to help assist in accelerating pregnancy, apparently. But it's also a great hormonal booster, and apparently it's a great aphrodisiac. Not going to comment on that, but maybe somebody could give it a go and feedback. Okay, how should bee pollen be consumed? Well, as a food, it acts much more quickly and effectively, apparently, when it's taken at a meal time, especially with fruit. So perhaps first thing in the morning with some fruit. The fruit actually helps perform like a cleansing of the intestinal flora. So the other thing is, with our bee pollen, you should be chewing it. So those of you who have chewed the bee pollen, it stays with you for a little while, doesn't it? It stays in your teeth for a while, but you are supposed to chew it. That's one of that and the propolis. And oh yes, Zoe's reminded me, when you start your customers with the bee pollen, you should always start with a 1/4 tablet. If there's no reactions, then up it to 1/2, then 3/4, and then the dosage can be up to 3 tablets a day. Okay,
amazing.
Over to Claire.
Thank you. Hi, sorry, just checking which order the slides are in. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 of my favourite products, but I'm going to talk to you in the way that I would talk to my clients, to my customers about the products. So hopefully you'll be able to get a couple of good one-liners from it and good ways that you can like talk about the products and the benefits. So the first product that everybody needs to be taking, everybody needs in their lives, is the Arctic Sea. This is an incredible product. Our Arctic Sea contains the perfect balance of omega-3s, and it's from really, really high quality calamari oil. So why should we be taking Arctic Sea? It's basically because we've all become so paranoid about fat, the F word. We kind of like try to avoid it, but we need fats in our diet, but we need the right kind of fats. And pretty much anything that you find, anything in a packet basically is normally the wrong type of fats. Healthy fats were around long before the grocery stores. So a lot of people as well are eating a lot of fat, but they're eating the wrong fat from the wrong sources. And different type of fats basically behave differently in the body. So the two types of fats that you do need to survive basically is omega-3 and omega-6. And both of those our body actually doesn't produce. So that's why as well that low-fat diets just don't work, because if you're eating low fat, you're depriving your body of what it actually needs to function at its best. So omega-3 and omega-6 exist in ratio to one another, but they compete for space. Omega-6 is actually inflammatory, I never say that right, whilst omega-3 is not. So you basically need to be eating more of the omega-3s. Omega-3 is amazing for all the cells in your body. It helps promote a healthy cardiovascular system, supports brain health and can help improve memory. And it also reduces inflammation in the body, so it's really good for your joints. It also promotes healthy eyes, skin, and lungs, and bowels. So it's really, really important that you're getting the right amount of omega-3. Obviously, a lot of foods contain omega-3s as well, like avocados, oily fish, flax seeds. But by taking our Arctic Sea on top of eating a diet rich in omega-3s, you're soon going to get your body back on track to where it needs to be. The next product that you need in your life, and this is so undersold, and it's only recently that I've started to realise the benefits to this, is the fibre. Did you know that the average person needs 25 to 30 grams of fibre in their diet a day, but most people are only eating 4 grams? That's terrible. We just don't really eat enough fibrous foods anymore. So our fibre, it's odourless, it's tasteless, and it's textureless, and it's soluble. So I basically add mine to my morning shake every morning, and what that does is it helps you stay full for longer. One of the main benefits of taking fibre is it actually pulls sugar and toxins through our body faster. It acts like a sponge. So what that does is it balances your blood sugar levels, which is why you stay full for longer. And this is really important, especially if you're diabetic. So it also works as a prebiotic, so it finds and it picks up the good bacteria and it deposits it into your gut. So as we kind of know now, like having a healthy gut means having a healthy body. You know, when you're on the C9, I hear a lot of people saying that they feel that the fibre bungs them up. In that circumstance, it's probably because they weren't eating enough fibre. Their diet probably wasn't fibre-rich at all in the beginning. So what you can do then is you can recommend that they maybe start on half a packet and then just build up to taking the full sachet of the fibre a day. Because it's not going to make them bunged up taken the correct way. If you don't add it to your shake, then what you can do is you can mix it in some warm water to help it dissolve. It does take a little bit of stirring, but mix it in some warm water, then just take it as a shot. But it's a really, really good product, and it really helps your body, especially if you're trying to detox. It's very, very important. The next product that is really probably my favourite product that we do, and it is something that I think is so, so important, is the probiotic. Because as I've mentioned, good health starts with your gut. Did you know that 70% of your immune system comes from your gut? And also your gut produces serotonin, which is the hormone that makes you feel happy. And your central nervous system is also linked to your gut. So that's why when you're nervous, you can feel your stomach flipping or you need to go to the toilet. So if your digestive system, if your gut's not working how it should be, then chances are that you're not feeling good. And also as well, if you've got an imbalance in gut flora, it actually causes weight gain. We've also got 2 kilograms of bacteria in our gut, and we need to make sure that there's a really healthy balance of the good bacteria compared to the bad bacteria, because that's how our body functions efficiently, and it helps us then break the food down properly. unfortunately, there's so many different environmental and diet factors that can disrupt the balance of gut flora. For example, if you're taking antibiotics, pollution, chlorinated water, even antibacterial soap, high sugar diets, processed and refined foods, they all affect the balance and encourage the bad bacteria as opposed to the good bacteria. So what we need to make sure we're doing is that we are getting our daily dose of probiotics, which means we're putting the good bacteria into our guts. Forever probiotics are different from other ones on the market because they actually contain 6 different strains of probiotic. And the really cool thing about our probiotics as well is that you don't have to refrigerate it. So that's a really, really big selling point. And it's a patented formula as well. Taking our probiotics, especially with the gel, is going to make sure that our digestive system's working better, and you're going to get a much better absorption of nutrients. Especially important to take, this is like if anyone's been on antibiotics or hasn't been feeling well, then definitely always recommend them the probiotics, because when you've been on antibiotics, it's killed the healthy gut flora, so you need to feed it with the probiotics. I think that's actually almost, me over and out. So I hope that's, I said mine would only take 10 minutes. So I hope that has been helpful for you. We just kind of covered our 3 favourite products. Yeah, I hope that's been some help. So speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.